All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Thursday, December 15th, 2022, and of course, we're in week 15. We're just a couple hours away from the start of Thursday Night Football at the time of me recording this, at the time of, starting this video up and everything like that. But, as always, we're toward the end of the season. Like we've done the last couple weeks, we've got some playoff scenarios to go over this week. Who can get in, who's got their, ticket punched, who's in, just fun things. The only team so far that's clinched a playoff spot is the Philadelphia Eagles. They haven't clinched their division or anything like that, but they did clinch a playoff berth last weekend. In the AFC, we really haven't had more than one team have a chance to clinch. This week we have a couple. No one's really clinched in the AFC. In the NFC, we've just got the Eagles, but we have a couple more teams in the NFC this weekend that can clinch their road to the playoffs. And so let's look at the Bills really quick. Both situations are just playoff berths, whereas the Kansas City Chiefs could win their division. And they're both just win and they're in. It's like they have the easiest scenario, just win and you're in the playoffs. So let's look at Buffalo real quick. Buffalo will take on the Miami Dolphins on Saturday at 8:15 p.m. So that's cool. Saturday Night Football. That's the big game. Could be in the snow. A lot of good weather going on in that one. So that's something to keep in mind. So Buffalo can clinch a playoff berth. Not exactly the AFC East yet, but they can get their playoff berth with a win, or one of these weird situations. If they tie, the Chargers, Jets lose. Or in the third scenario, it would be, they tie, the Jets lose, the Patriots lose, or Buffalo ties, the Jets tie, New England ties, and the Chargers tie. More than likely for Buffalo, they probably just want to win their game and not have to worry about tying with the Dolphins. So as long as they win, they can get into the playoffs. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. All right, pretty simple. Let's go ahead and look down to see what the Chiefs have to do. They play at the Houston Texans, so that should be an easy win. The Texans are 1-11-1. That's a Sunday game at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard. Pretty normal game. They clinched the AFC West, which is kind of shocking. Everybody was telling me before the season started that it was going to be the Raiders or the Broncos or the Chargers. That was the number one team to win the AFC West, by overcritical ESPN football fans who people, you can tell who only get their football knowledge from ESPN or one of them cringe lord sites, because they're like, dude, the Chargers are unstoppable, dude. They've got Khalil Mack, dude, even though they have no ability to stop the run and he's a pass rush specialist, and they got JC Jackson. It's like, that's really gonna fix all their problems, especially, that team doctor that they, I think, promoted to head doctor after he popped Tyrod Taylor's lung. Yeah, they're nothing to worry about with the Chargers. But anyway, for the Kansas City Chiefs, they have the AFC West division title if they win. The Chargers lose, so it's if they have to win and they get it. Or if they lose or tie or something like that, and the Chargers lose, they get the division title. So they got to win or the Chargers got to lose. One of those two, it's their division. And then we have the Kansas City. There's a third scenario. If both of the teams tie, Kansas City wins the AFC West. So Kansas City in a win and it's yours situation. Let's go ahead and scroll down really quick. By the way, I'm sorry I don't have a PowerPoint for these quite yet. I know this is rather boring to just look at the screen. But when it's only two teams and then two teams, there's not really a reason. You know what I mean? I was like, well, do I want to make a whole thing for 4 teams? It's just I don't think so. Especially since the 49ers is one scenario. It's just you can see it right down there. It's tonight, by the way. I'll start with there. But this is the NFC. Of course, we have the Philadelphia Eagles who have clinched their playoff berth. So it's a little while to go because of how good Dallas is at 10-3. The 12-1 Eagles are having trouble clinching their division because of that. So that's probably about a bummer. But then we have to look at the 49ers. They're 9-4. They're playing the 7-6 Seattle Seahawks. A win for San Francisco clinches the NFC West division title. So basically for the 49ers, there's no other stipulations. You win this game, it's your division title. If you don't, it's going to take a little longer to get it because Seattle can still catch you. For the Minnesota Vikings, I guess we'll just work up backwards. They can clinch the NFC North division title. They play the Indianapolis Colts, who are at 4-8-1 on Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. So that's a Saturday afternoon game. Pretty cool. And Minnesota clinches the NFC North division title with the win or a tie. So if basically, as long as Minnesota doesn't lose to the Colts or tie, no, just basically as long as they don't lose, they win the division. or if Detroit loses or ties. So if the Lions lose this weekend to the Jets, then it's the Vikings title, regardless of what happens. But if Minnesota wins, it doesn't really matter what Detroit does. So Vikings have a win and you're in situation. So 3 division titles could be wrapped up this weekend in the AFC West, NFC West, and the NFC North. Ooh, getting closer to the end of the season. Always fun when that starts happening. All right, what about the Dallas Cowboys? We got a couple scenarios here as well. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. It should be an easy game, but the Jaguars have been playing people really good this year, so this will kind of be a dogfight for the Cowboys, I'm guessing. I'm guessing the Jaguars keep it weirdly close in this one. Dallas doesn't get a division or anything, but they can punch their ticket to the playoffs this weekend. The most simple method, they have 5 ways of getting in. Number 1 is the most simple method. They got to win. If they win, they have a playoff berth. It's about as A to B as that one gets. And then we have scenarios 2 and 3, which involve a tie. So if Dallas ties, the New York Giants and Washington game has a winner. So basically, as long as somebody wins in the Giants versus the Commanders game, so no tie this time, or there's like these weird scenarios. Or here's Seattle loses or ties, or Seattle, Detroit lose or tie, or Seattle loses and Washington loses. So basically, Dallas, ignore 2 through 4 of those scenarios. The most likely thing to happen here is going to be Dallas wins or Seattle and Washington loses. Those are your probable most likely, or the Detroit, Seattle loser tie. So 1, 4, and 5 are the only possible scenarios. Basically, this can all be avoided if the Cowboys just beat the Jaguars. That's as simple as it could probably get. So, all right, I think that's about that for your Week 15 playoff clinching scenarios. Yeah, that's everything. So yeah, so we have just the one team clinched. There's a few teams that could be eliminated this weekend, like I think the Packers, Rams. There's like a handful, like I know the Texans, Bears, and someone else have been eliminated. But then there's a few more that can be thrown out this weekend. So, all right, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What do you think is going to happen this weekend in terms of people clinching? We have 3 divisions on the line. We have playoff spots on the line. So this should be a pretty exciting weekend in terms of playoff building. Yeah, if other than that, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Likes help build the channel up, so do subscribes and all that stuff like that. Also, it helps the video out, makes it perform a little better in the magic algorithms and all that. So go ahead and do that if you don't mind. I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good rest of your day. And yeah, week 15 already coming to a quick close after this weekend. More and more playoff scenarios. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. Peace out, and bye-bye.